You know what's really hot right now? That new album from Taylor Swift.
Oh, 1989.
1989. I haven't heard it, but we're gonna see if we can.
Todd was just like, where is this going?
We're gonna see if we can get on some of that SEO goodness, and we're gonna talk about the best games of 1989.
Well done.
That got us somewhere.
Can you guys name a game from 1989?
Mega Man 2.
Cheater.
There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah,
Mother came out.
I don't even want to. I'm cheating because we're working on a project that talks about games from '89. So.
Oh,
okay.
Super Mario Land, SimCity.
Well, so I lift that off this list because even though that launched with the Game Boy, I don't think people particularly liked that game very much.
I did not like the first one.
Yeah.
Mario Land is-
I appreciated the hell out of it when it first came out because I was just like, I can bring Mario on the bus.
Yeah.
But it was weird. It was
He's
like
not
turtles,
normal Mario. He's weird Mario.
He gets
turtles turn into bombs.
Yeah.
He fights pharaohs.
Then he goes
Flies
to
the
space
plane
at some
that
point.
He's on
bullets.
planet
Yeah.
Earth for
Yeah.
some reason. He's not even in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah.
That
And
makes
they
no sense.
introduced Daisy for the first time in that game,
Ooh.
so that was significant.
yeah.
That was her first appearance.
Yeah.
But what did come out in '89? Populous.
Yeah.
Peter Molyneux.
Yeah.
The first God game. Which, speaking of, what happened to God games? There aren't any more like God games anymore.
He's making Godus.
Goddess? Gudis?
Well, yeah.
Gouda?
Gouda. He's
making-
making-
Someone needs to remake ActRaiser or give us a sequel to that. That's the best.
That's
God game.
Mitch
That is
Dyer's
Mitch's
favorite game.
Yeah.
He's Canadian.
Jinx.
Both Populous and the original SimCity came out in '89.
Well, right.
Wow.
So yeah, the first early masterpieces from two of the
Yeah.
most notable developers of all time.
Yeah. Like you said, Mega Man 2.
Yeah.
Also, a string of NES sequels. Castlevania 3
Ooh.
also came out that year. River City Ransom
Yeah.
was that year.
Yeah.
Excellent game.
Barf.
Strider, both NES and the arcade games came out
man.
that year. DuckTales.
Man, DuckTales was so good.
So just
Someone in the studio just went, yeah.
Dragon Warrior came to North America. That year.
Huge.
Yeah, the first.
I remember
Dragon
getting that with my subscription to Nintendo Power.
Me too.
It came for
This
free.
is like a really strong NES year.
Yeah.
But since the Game Boy came out, I thought Tetris would be a better
Oh,
game to
God.
call out. The
Yeah.
Game Boy Tetris game.
Dragon Quest is one of the first games that I can remember. I obviously didn't play it in '89 because I was 4, but I played it a few years later, and it's one of the first games I can remember like writing like things down in a notebook. I had this like crazy person. He looked like the origami killer, not the origami killer, the guy in San Francisco that killed a bunch of people.
Zodiac.
Zodiac Killer, not the Origami Killer.
Origami Killer. I had like Zodiac Killer notebooks filled with like just numbers and
Don't
scribbles
you wish
about
you
where
could like
things were.
find that, like still have that at your parents' house?
Yeah.
For
like,
which game?
Dragon Quest.
Oh, Dragon Quest. Yeah, they called it Dragon Warrior first. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the first one was called.
Yeah, it
Or
was
like
called-
the first NES games were all Dragon Warrior, and then
Yeah.
they started.
Which I don't know
matching
why.
up.
Maybe they thought people didn't know what quests
What
were.
is What is this quest you
What is this
speak
quest?
of?
What is this strange Japanese word quest?
You would have to, so I wouldn't know how much health. What I remember doing for hours is you didn't know how much health monsters had, so I would just trial and error it. Like, okay, I did 12 points of damage and he died, so that guy has between this amount of health, and then I would fight him. I would grind him again and
Wow.
again to figure out how much. Like,
This
okay,
was like as you were a young kid?
yeah, this slime has 40 health, or whatever.
pretty
Like,
intense.
that's how I'd have to
I don't know.
figure
It's
it
pretty
out.
intense. That's a lot of effort.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. On the computer, Prince of Persia was released.
Oh,
which was
man.
really, that had amazing animation at the time.
Yeah. I went back even like a couple days ago and looked at the VHS footage, and they have Jordan Mechner like animated
VHS
his
footage?
brother.
Oh.
He like
Oh, yeah.
filmed his brother making those jumps, and he just one-to-one it in the game.
He did a post-mortem for that game at GDC a few years ago
Yeah.
and actually showed that footage for the
Yeah,
first time.
it's really
awesome.
interesting.
He had his brother jumping around like the living room, like in his pajamas with
Yeah.
like a stick, and
Like climbing
basically,
things.
yeah, and he just painted over it. You know.
What do you call that like genre of like, I don't even know, like
Like
Oddworld
that,
Abe's Odyssey
Out of
or
This
like
World.
Heart of Darkness?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I missed
could
that
make up a
genre.
name
Is
for
it
it.
puzzle platformer? I guess
Yeah,
they're not really puzzles.
no, I think you're right. I think that's it. Because they're
It's more like obstacle.
Obstacore.
Yeah,
did it.
Obstacore.
I love
to
those
me
obstacle
they were
games.
trial and error death simulators.
Yeah.
That's mostly what happened. I'd be like, oh cool, oh god, I'm dead.
It was
was
yeah,
that-
for me, it's things I appreciate but don't like.
you
I
don't like
appreciate
those
all
games?
those games, but no,
that's
don't like
interesting.
them.
I
Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Really
like you're walking across a platform and it falls out and you fall into a pile
Yeah,
of
so
snakes.
now you know. Like,
Or just
next time you know.
Yeah.
Prince of Persia specifically, the animation was so specific that you would need to like get your foot in just the right spot, then hit the jump button,
Yeah.
and then 2.5 steps later he's gonna leap across the platform.
Yeah,
like,
you had to start your jump well, like 5 minutes before you actually.
Yeah,
left the
yeah,
ground.
yeah. Prepare for liftoff.
But
There was
Oddworld
that-
was better about that.
There was that really good HD remake on Xbox Live Arcade.
Oh
Yeah, that's right.
like,
That was
many
super
years ago.
pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. Also, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade: The Graphic Adventure.
That was
I don't know
one
if you guys played that one, but that was a LucasArts.
Yeah.
I didn't play Last Crusade. I played the original one. I played Fate of
Fate of
Atlantis.
Atlantis. Yeah.
It was
Wait,
great.
that one came first?
No, I'm just saying that's the one I played.
Oh yeah, but it was
I didn't know
original. It was an original story, like not based on a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a Last Crusade.
Yeah, it's really good.
Point
So my
click
friend, I didn't have a computer, but my best friend next door did,
Yep.
and he got the game, and it came with like a clue book,
Yeah.
and there'd be
That's
like points
awesome.
in the game where you had to like,
Yeah.
like use this viewfinder, like there, like
That's so
it was like a
awesome.
grid, and then you use this red screen viewfinder to put over the grid and like find the secret words.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
How
it was
fun
so
is that?
fun.
I miss
Yeah,
that
it's
stuff.
so
That's
good.
how you kill the used games industry. Just ship every game
Yeah.
with like a red disc that you have to hold up to your TV. That's the way to do it.
That's how
I
you
just-
combat piracy.
Yeah,
But then it just
rest in
hoses-
peace, GameStop.
It completely hoses you if you rent a game, like Metal Gear Solid requiring the codec
Oh,
that's
yeah.
on the back of this
Well,
on
yeah.
the CD
Well,
case.
there was
and it's like, well,
what was it? There was like an X-Men game that came to Genesis.
yeah, you had to hit the reset button.
Yeah,
right?
and there was there's one part that if you didn't hit the reset button, like you couldn't continue.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have the manual, you didn't know that. And
Yeah.
I rented the game, and I was like, well, this game sucks.
Like it's broken.
The
only
game just
3
shouts
levels.
at you. You have to reset the computer.
Yeah.
Reset
Yeah.
the computer. Like no one in a million years would be like, okay, I
That
have
is
to hit
some
reset.
next level. That's like
pretty good.
Kojima-esque, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good.
Touch your foot.
Bonk's Adventure was released in 1989.
That's
really
such an
good.
ugly character.
What do you mean? Well,
His head is so big.
Yeah.
Why is his head so big?
He owns it though.
not very many people play that game
Yeah,
because
it's
only
his
like
whole
5
thing.
people owned a TurboGrafx.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that's a really good platformer game.
It's like,
I remember I had a friend that got the TurboGrafx 16, and he invited me over his house, and I'm like on the way over, I'm like yelling to my dad in the car about how great it's gonna be because he's got this new video game system.
Yeah.
My dad's like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. And we get there, and he's like, here it is. Bonk. And I'm like, what the hell is this?
You're like, okay, I'm
I
gonna
have
go play
Super
Mario.
Mario World at home.
Yeah.
He's like, no, this is this guy with the big head, and he fights dinosaurs.
But dinosaurs.
And he eats meat that he
It is
finds
pretty
on the
cool.
ground, and there's a volcano.
And then he
I'm
like gets crazy.
yeah, and he gets
Like,
really
hooks
mad.
up.
He's like,
Crazy
oh, that
meat.
meat was really bad.
The
and he
game
fights
is
a
really good.
dinosaur.
I mean, I have a soft spot for Bonk, but the TurboGrafx, like if you're a TurboGrafx kid, you had to convince yourself so hard that
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like as good as Mario.
What if like
Yeah.
someone like Naughty Dog made a photorealistic Bonk game, except your head was just still that big?
Okay, that would be really
That would be a
scary.
video game boss. People would try to shoot it.
He would be a monster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's actually the 5th monster in Evolve.
The weird.
This is a deep cut, but is Bonk and Chuck Rock, are they related?
No, these are
They're not
different.
the-
Yeah,
they're just
different
completely
games.
different?
Yeah,
They're
different games.
related only by
And Joe and Mac
time.
are also not.
Yeah,
related.
and Fred Flintstone, they are not related.
The reason was Chuck Rock 2 is son of Chuck, and so then you're basically playing this little kid.
I thought it was Go
Yeah.
Chuck Yourself.
Well, yeah. The weird thing about Bonk's Revenge, it's called Bonk's Revenge. All the advertising says Bonk is back. It was the first game, the first Bonk's game. And finally,
true?
That's
yeah,
awesome.
great.
That's really funny.
1989 was the year that Solitaire and Minesweeper were bundled with Windows.
Wow.
Man, I want to start doing Minesweeper Let's Plays.
Yeah.
No one else wants to do those with me, though.
I'm like, don't click it. Don't. No, no, no! I think it's a great
It's got
idea.
a 5. I don't know what that means.
It's impossible. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy that in '89 people
yeah.
were. I mean,
You know what? That's
we
the
didn't have a
year.
computer.
That's the year casual gaming took over and started ruining the hardcore video game industry
Yeah.
for everybody. All those grandmothers.
He's making a joke.
Yes, I'm joking.
That's also the year Batman came out in movie theaters.
It was also the year
Yeah.
Taylor Swift was born.
Probably.
I think that's probably why it is. Yeah.